And good morning. This is a CBS2 News Update. I'm Chris Wragge. We have some breaking news about a violent attack on the subway. Police now tell us there is a suspect in custody for the beating of a man with a metal object. Police say the suspect was panhandling and started arguing with his victim on a 2 train around 9:15 Saturday night. That's when they say he hit the man. The 59-year-old victim was left with a fractured skull and a broken eye socket. Now to new developments in the incredible cave rescue in Thailand. More members of that soccer team have been rescued, but several still remain trapped. CBS2's Janelle Burrell has been monitoring the overnight efforts for us and has more for us right now. Hi, Janelle.
Hi there, Chris. Well, it's believed that 4 more of the boys have been rescued, which would mean that there are still 4 boys trapped in that cave, along with their coach. And time is working against them. Thai officials say they're hoping to get the rest of them out within the next 2 days. Now, earlier today, ambulances and helicopters believed to be carrying more of the rescued boys were seen leaving the area near the flooded cave. This morning, it's considered phase 2 of the rescue operation, with expert divers guiding members of the boys soccer team through more than 2 miles of dark and narrow tunnels flooded with murky water and strong currents, at some points with 0 visibility. The boys don't know how to swim, and the rescuers had to teach them how to breathe through full-face scuba gear for the areas where they have to swim underwater. Now, as for the boys who escaped, they are in isolation, being monitored at a hospital there, Chris.
So let's talk about the health conditions of these kids. They've been in there for close to 2 weeks, malnourished, obviously, pitch black darkness, practically, submerged in water at some points during the course of the day with the tides that we talk about in these caves. What kind of condition can we expect these kids to be in when rescued? So
they're being put in isolation in hospitals because of concern about infection. And as you mentioned, they're also concerned about their nutrition, possible hypothermia. And they also are concerned about their mental state. Doctors say that they could be hallucinating after being in such a closed, dark, confined space for more than 2 weeks, so some serious concerns to look out for.
And as far as where we stand now, I know I'm sure some people are wondering, why aren't they working around the clock? They are working around the clock, but because of those rising water levels and because it is so low, I mean, at one point, these divers have to swim and or dive a 3-hour part of this trip to get to these kids. I mean, it is extensive what they're going through.
It really is. It took 13 hours for them to get those first 4 boys out on Sunday, and they are going through dark tunnels and caves, and so it's really, really difficult. And so right now they've suspended the operation. They have to refuel their oxygen tanks to make sure that they have enough to get to the remaining boys and their coach, who are still trapped inside.
So 4 boys remaining reportedly right now, and the coach, so 5 total. So hopefully tomorrow more good news, as we've had good news today with 4 more boys reportedly coming out from those caves. Janelle, thank you very much. Janelle Burrell reporting for us. New information about disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. He's pleaded not guilty to criminal charges involving a 3rd accuser. He was in Manhattan criminal court this morning for new sex crimes charges, including predatory sexual assault against a woman in 2006. This is in addition to charges involving 2 other women's accusations. If convicted, he could face life in prison. Weinstein's attorney says Weinstein maintains all the allegations are false and that he will be vindicated. Well, police on Long Island are searching for a teenager who's been missing for more than a week. 19-year-old Luis Jermosin was last seen by family members leaving his home in Newcastle on June 28th. After a tip over the weekend, the search included Hempstead Lake State Park, where crews are expected to return today. His family hopes someone will come forward with information before it's too late.
I think somebody knows something and they're not saying. They're not saying what they know.
Police say Jermonson may have been headed to a residence in West Hempstead. Happening today, President Trump will announce his choice for the U.S. Supreme Court. The new justice, if confirmed by the Senate, will replace the retiring Anthony Kennedy. CBS News is reporting there are 3 finalists. They are Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, and Raymond Kethledge. All 3 are federal appeals court judges. And when President Trump makes his Supreme Court announcement, we will bring it to you live. Look for the CBS News special report tonight at 9 o'clock right here on CBS2. We have a consumer alert for you. The popular social media app Timehop reports a data breach involving millions of users. It happened on July 4th, and Timehop says it was able to intercept the breach while it was in progress. The names, email addresses, and phone numbers of 21 million users were exposed to hackers, but the company says the breach did not involve users' photos and social media posts that are stored on Timehop. Well, a man gives a whole new meaning to the term strap hanger. The real-life subway surfer was caught on camera. Would you look at this guy hanging onto the outside of a subway car as it traveled between stations? CBS2's Lisa Rosner has more from Brooklyn.
The man who took this video says the rider couldn't get in the train, so he got on the train, literally. You can see he's holding on outside of the doors, even letting one arm down as it passes through a pitch-black tunnel. After about a minute, the man jumps off at the next stop.
One hand down and one hand like this riding, and it gave me the feeling that he'd done this before. As he rode down, he pressed himself against the door tightly so that way he wouldn't get hit by anything. I was in shock.
Matt Beery filmed the dangerous ordeal Friday around 8:30 in the morning on the C train. He says the man subway surfed from the Clinton, Washington station to Lafayette Avenue.
My thought was, I hope he's going to be okay. The woman next to me had her mouth hand over her mouth in shock.
Strap hangers we showed the video to were shocked also.
The C train.
Oh my God! I've seen people jump in the tunnel and walk down. I've not seen this except for now.
It's insane.
But that's crazy.
The MTA says it's illegal and warns riders and posters that surfing is deadly.
He's risking his life.
He's risking his life.
Yes.
In fact, the agency says between 1989 and 2011, 13 people were killed hanging off a train, 56 injured.
I feel like I'd want to tell someone, like either the emergency brake or tell the conductor.
The NYPD says it's investigating the incident and that anyone who tries to do this kind of thing could be arrested. In the Clinton Hills section of Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
These days at the Miss America pageant, reports say there is a major split over the organization's leadership. A new board was put in place following a 2017 email scandal that saw some pageant officials mocking winners' intelligence and appearance. But now the press of Atlantic City says 22 state pageants have signed a petition calling for the resignations of the new board, including chairwoman Gretchen Carlson. But in another letter, 30 former Miss Americas say they fully support Carlson and the current board. Well, Starbucks is going straw-free. The coffee company says it will phase out plastic straws from its stores by 2020. To help with the change, Starbucks is changing from flat plastic lids to ones that feature a raised lip that you can drink from. Frappuccino drinkers and customers who prefer straws will be given one made from paper or compostable plastic. Now let's talk a little weather for you real quick. It is currently, currently beautiful outside, 87 degrees. Tomorrow, that's going to be the slight blip of hot and humid weather this week, where it's going to top about 91 tomorrow with a low of 72. But then once we clear that humidity out, take a look, folks. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look pretty spectacular. Temperatures in the mid-80s. The week, is it too early to start looking towards the weekend? We say no, it is not. The weekend looks fabulous. 87 and 89 on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, that is all subject to change, as I am constantly told every time I pass by the weather office. But right now, things look pretty good. So just gear up for a nice week and a great weekend. A superhero surprise at a children's hospital in Virginia. Actress Gal Gadot, dressed as Wonder Woman, stopped by Inova Children's Hospital in Falls Church last night. Among the patients, a 7-month-old named Carolyn. She's being treated for leukemia. Her mom says Wonder Woman was hard to miss.
I was talking to one of the doctors with my daughter. She was in the middle of getting an IV antibiotic treatment, and in walks Wonder Woman, you know, fully costumed.
Not her costume, that's what she wears. Doctors and other staff were just as excited. Gadot is now filming Wonder Woman 1984 in the D.C. and Northern Virginia area. And that is your CBS 2 News Update. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Chris Wragge. Have a great day.